My name's Joshua Harvey. I'm a junior here at Texas State. I study international studies. We're here because we're tired of the power that corporatism has on America. We're tired of our politicians who listen to corporations before they listen to us. We're tired of the debt that we have to be put in as students in this country to get an education. We are tired of the fact that our voices aren't being heard. We have tried to go through politicians, it hasn't worked. So now we have taken it upon ourselves collectively to come out here and make our voices heard everywhere we can, at our universities, in our cities, in our towns, to our banks. And we won't stop until there is change, because that is what America's about. It's not really a group or an organization, it's something called horizontalism, where people just arise of their own accord. We don't need a leader, we might not even have a collective message. All it is about is to wake up, waking other people up. You don't need a leader for this. You have libertarians here, you have people who are focused on social issues, people who are focused on economical issues, people focused on immigration. It doesn't matter. It's just rising up and showing the government that the power belongs to us. I think here at Texas State we want to work on solutions that plague all students. The biggest one that I've heard is you have 6 months after your loan, like I have college loans, so after I graduate I have 6 months to find a job that pays enough to start paying that back. 6 months isn't enough time in this economy to find a decent job when you have less than a 30% chance to get that type of job. So one thing we'd like to do is create a growing movement with other Occupy College movements at different universities to have that period extended. Not saying we don't want to pay it back, but just give us more time to pay it back. Another thing we're discussing is trying to get noise raised from universities to lower the interest rate. We'd like to create a scholarship at our school with our movement to help students that are going to school who need that extra help. So we'd like to create a scholarship for students who are active in civic things, do community service, things like that, and reward them with extra money to help their burden. To get that money, I'm hoping to talk to local businesses that would be willing to contribute to it, to show that you don't need corporations or large government to be able to get things done and to help people. Tomorrow we are hopefully going to all meet here at 3:30. We're going to rally in the quad for a few minutes by chanting to get people's attention. Maybe other students will walk out and join, is the goal. After that, we're going to form up in front of the horse statue here into 2 columns, and we're going to march from the campus to the square, march around the square maybe once or twice while chanting. Hopefully the news media will be there, and then that's when we can make our voice heard to the community on bringing light to these issues that plague college students. People are making many different signs here, so hopefully we can get our message across. One of the biggest critiques is we don't have a unifying message, but I think with the Occupy College it allows you to do that. You're specifically targeting student issues, so hopefully we won't be seen as hippies. I mean, I'm a veteran. We have people from the Woodlands that are here, which is a very wealthy area, very wealthy families. We have a mix of students. So, well, for the national movement, if you're a college student, if you want to go and start something like this at your university, just look up Occupy Colleges. It's occupycolleges.org. They also have a Twitter. For Texas State students who would be interested in joining, we have a Facebook page. You just search Occupy Texas State, it will pop up. We also have a Twitter, and all of our information is located on our main page. And it doesn't matter if you get 1, 2, 3, 4 students, 5 students. All of these movements start small, but as long as you're consistent with your message and you're willing to go out in the community, you'll get more people that are willing to join you, because it is a message that I think resonates with a lot of people.
My name's Matthew Molnar. I'm a freshman here at Texas State. I'm here because I believe that there's something very wrong with the way this country is working right now. The system is not working the way it was designed to. You know, the people do not have the power, the corporations do. And I think that's a very big issue that a lot of people my age here at these universities aren't aware of. That, or they just don't realize the gravity of that kind of situation and don't think that it matters, you know? And that's something that scares me deeply. I think that these are very important matters. I think everyone should be aware of them. A lot of the people I talk to haven't even heard of the Occupy Wall Street movement. And I think that's kind of a appalling because it's such a big thing and it's being covered by so many different news networks across the world, yet it's not receiving the attention it deserves here in America. And I don't know, I think that there's a lot of problems inherent in the system that need to be addressed, and the best way to go about that is to draw attention to those problems and then work on solutions from there. So I'm hoping to draw some attention and get people to know. Today, all across the country, universities are all marching together in solidarity to help people focus on this movement.
My name is John Martin, and I am a grassroots organizer for the occupation movement that is taking hold here in America and spreading even overseas. There are now 150 cities that are involved. And my specific job is that I am a facilitator in General Assemblies, and I teach other people how to facilitate General Assemblies. There is no one organization that is driving this. This is a movement of, by, and for the people that is attempting to create a forum for civil discourse in this country, because a lot of us feel that we're too divided between the red states and the blue states, the Republicans and the Democrats. But according to a recent poll done by Pew Research Center, 35% of Americans consider themselves some variety of independent. That's more than a third of the country. So more than a third of the country is finding itself dissatisfied with the policies of an administration, regardless of who it is. We always end up voting for the lesser of two evils, and I think that a lot of people in the youth generation are really reacting to that. That sort of marginalization and that political disenfranchisement. Because, perfect example, I'm all about civil rights, and I'm all about social equality in the terms of that every American needs to be treated as an equal in the political process, which would be seen by some as a democratic stance, but I'm also a gun owner, so I have some very right-wing things on my side as well. I am probably a pretty good example of what it is to be an independent voter that's disenfranchised by both sides. I would say, and you'll get about a million different answers on that, I would say that our main goal is to establish a physical, flesh and blood public forum for civil discourse, for educating each other about issues, about learning from each other, having discussion groups, and engaging in the democratic process. It's also, I believe, about a paradigm shift of moving beyond that red-blue duality and moving more towards an all-inclusive, hey, guess what, we're all Americans, we all face the same issues, so let's stop slinging mud and calling names, let's have a conversation. Let's have civil discourse before we have civil war. I think that one of the threads of this entire movement that really hasn't been touched on is the fact that there are some issues that have to be talked about on the federal level. There are other issues that are near and dear to many of us, but they need to be discussed on the state and local level, because there's a reason that we have a federalized form of government, but as we have seen for quite a long time, most of the focus has been on the federal government, and clearly they're not doing a good enough job representing us, so we've taken it to ourselves to represent ourselves to a degree.